Sharon sat at her office desk, the city lights of Lagos spilling across the window like scattered stars. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard, but she couldn't type. Her mind replayed the events of the past week, a kaleidoscope of emotions that refused to settle. Yemi had been kind, gentle, patient. He had not pressured her, not once, though his quiet presence had been constant. He had remembered things she had forgotten, her favorite tea, the way she liked her stationery arranged, even the small details from high school that no one else would care about. And yet, Ademola lingered in her thoughts too. His energy was intoxicating, his compliments intoxicatingly smooth, his interest impossible to ignore. Every time he called, texted, or appeared at an event she planned, a flutter went through her chest that was both thrilling and terrifying. Her heart was divided. Her mind knew the safe choice. But the temptation of a love that felt urgent, alive, and dangerous tugged at her relentlessly. She sighed, pressing her temples. She needed clarity. She needed space. But Lagos was alive, and her work never slept. The next wedding she had to plan was a high-profile celebrity ceremony. The stakes were higher than ever, and her nerves frayed at the edges. Then he appeared. Yemi. Quiet, gentle, holding a bouquet of white lilies, his hands careful and precise. "Sharon," he said softly, "I thought you might need a break." Her lips parted in surprise. "Yemi, how did you—" He shrugged, a small, almost shy smile on his face. "I just knew you needed it, and I wanted to see you." She took the bouquet, the lilies soft and fragrant, and felt her chest tighten. The sincerity in his eyes was impossible to ignore. But before she could respond, her phone buzzed. "Ademola. Dinner tonight? I have something special to show you." Sharon froze. She knew exactly what this was. Another attempt to sway her, to make her feel wanted, to inject excitement into her predictable life. But she also knew that tonight she had to make a choice, or at least confront her feelings. The day passed in a blur of planning, calls, and last-minute adjustments. She barely ate, barely breathed. Her heart refused to settle. Finally, the evening came. She decided, reluctantly, to meet Ademola. She needed to see what the pull was, what the temptation truly felt like, before she could make peace with her heart. The restaurant was dimly lit, intimate. Soft music floated across the room. Sharon felt her pulse quicken as Ademola approached. "Sharon," he said, his eyes warm, "you look amazing." She smiled politely, but her thoughts drifted elsewhere. She couldn't stop thinking about Yemi, the quiet man who had waited for her all these years. The one who never tried to dazzle her with wealth or charm, but with patience, understanding, and care. As the evening wore on, Ademola's charm was intoxicating. He laughed at her jokes, listened attentively, and even reached for her hand once. Tentatively, teasingly. Sharon felt a flutter of desire, a spark of excitement she hadn't felt in years. But then, she caught herself. She remembered the way Yemi's eyes had held hers during the wedding weeks ago. The way he had noticed her fatigue, her frustration, the little things that made her feel unseen by the world. The patience he had shown, the gentle kindness that had never wavered. Her chest tightened. She realized that excitement alone was not enough. That thrill was temporary. That what she wanted, what she needed, was something deeper, something enduring. And then, as if on cue, her phone buzzed again. "Yemi, are you okay? Just checking in. Don't forget, I'm here if you need me." Her heart leapt. That simple message carried more weight than all of Ademola's gestures combined. The choice was becoming clear, but she wasn't ready yet to face it fully. Over the next few weeks, the tension escalated. Ademola invited her to extravagant events, trying to sweep her off her feet. Yemi continued his quiet, gentle support, always there, but never intrusive. Sharon's heart wavered, torn between two very different kinds of love. Then came the turning point. A misunderstanding that could have ended everything. During a wedding she was planning, she saw Yemi speaking to another woman. She misread the conversation, imagining flirtation and intimacy where none existed. The sight twisted her stomach with jealousy, fear, and panic. Without thinking, she called Ademola, seeking comfort in the wrong place. That night, she almost crossed a line that would have changed everything. But her conscience stopped her. She realized then that she couldn't continue being pulled by temptation. She couldn't let herself be blinded by excitement. She had to face her heart and the truth she had been avoiding for over a decade. Sharon finally confronted Yemi the next day. They met at a quiet park, away from the chaos of weddings and city noise. "Yemi, I saw you yesterday," she said, her voice trembling. I thought," he held up his hand. "I know what you thought, but it's not what you think. She's just a client. I wanted to protect you from getting hurt. I didn't want you to doubt me." Sharon's eyes filled with tears. Relief, guilt, and love collided in her chest. She finally understood that this quiet, gentle man had never wavered. He had always been faithful in his heart, patient and devoted. Her choice became undeniable. She had been tempted by the thrill of Ademola, by excitement, by possibility. But she realized she wanted more than momentary desire. She wanted enduring love, unwavering support, and a partner who saw her, truly saw her, for who she was. Sharon reached out, taking Yemi's hands in hers. I think I've been waiting for you all this time." His lips curved into the softest smile. "And I've been waiting for you." For the first time in her life, Sharon felt the tension lift. The suspense, the uncertainty, the temptation, all of it dissolved in that quiet, enduring love. But the story wasn't over yet. The final chapters would test them in other ways. Career challenges, family expectations, and the lingering shadows of past friends who had doubted her. Yet, Sharon finally knew one thing. She had chosen wisely. Yemi wasn't just a crush. He was home. And this time, she would never let him go. The weeks leading up to Sharon's wedding were a whirlwind of flowers, invitations, seating charts, and last-minute adjustments. Her company, Lavender Knot Events, had never been busier. And yet, for the first time, Sharon felt a lightness in her chest that she had never known before. Yemi was by her side through it all. Not intrusively, not demanding, just present. Quiet, patient, steady, the anchor in the storm that had once threatened to drown her heart. But as the wedding day approached, suspense lingered in subtle ways. There were whispers among her friends, some playful, some sharp. "Finally, Sharon, we thought we'd never see this day. She always waited too long, but I guess the right one shows up eventually." Yemi? Really? After all this time? Sharon heard it all. Some words stung, but others reminded her why she had waited. She had refused to settle. She had endured mockery. She had protected her heart. And now she was about to walk down the aisle with the man who had always loved her, the one whose patience had never faltered. Then came a last-minute scare. A delivery mix-up threatened to ruin the floral arrangements. The caterers ran late. A guest caused a minor scene in the venue. For a moment, Sharon's chest tightened. Old fears crept back. The fear of imperfection, of losing control, of being judged. But Yemi was there, calm, gentle, supportive. "Sharon," he said softly, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "This day is perfect because we're here together, not because everything is flawless. Remember that." Her heart softened. She exhaled, letting the tension slip away. Finally, the music began. Soft, delicate, carrying a sense of anticipation. Sharon adjusted her gown, took a deep breath, and stepped forward. The aisle stretched before her, lined with friends, family, and well-wishers. Every eye was on her, but she no longer felt exposed or judged. She felt seen. She felt loved. She felt ready. And then she saw him, Yemi, standing tall, handsome, his eyes shimmering with emotion. Not a flicker of doubt, not a hint of uncertainty, only love. Tears pricked her eyes, not of sorrow, but of overwhelming joy. Step by step, she moved toward him. Each step carried years of longing, patience, and quiet hope. Each step erased the memories of being mocked, overlooked, or teased as the forever bridesmaid. When she reached the altar, Yemi took her hands. His touch was warm, steady, grounding. "I've waited my whole life for this moment," he whispered. "And I promise, I'll spend the rest of my life making sure you never doubt my love again." Sharon smiled through tears. "And I promise to finally let myself be loved, to trust, to laugh, to build our life together." The officiant smiled, the guests leaned forward, and then came the words Sharon had longed to hear. "You may now kiss the bride." The kiss was gentle, tender, filled with a depth of emotion that only years of waiting could create. The applause erupted, cheers ringing through the hall. Sharon finally felt complete. But the story had one last twist. As the guests celebrated, one of her old friends approached, the one who had mocked her the most over the years. I'm sorry," they said quietly. "I never realized how strong you are. And how patient love really is. You deserved this more than anyone." Sharon smiled, her heart full. She accepted the apology with grace, understanding that her journey had not been just about finding love, but about becoming a woman strong enough to wait for the right one. That night, as Sharon and Yemi danced under twinkling lights, the city of Lagos spread around them like a sea of possibilities. The music, laughter, and joy created a memory that would last a lifetime. For Sharon, it was more than a wedding. It was a triumph, a confirmation, a dream realized. She had waited. She had endured. She had almost given up. But love, patient and true, had found her. And she knew without a doubt that this time, love would never leave.